Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Our Stock Trades. In this video, we're going to go ahead and give you guys a market update, and we're going to go ahead and issue a Labor Day sale. Now, someone contacted me. He said, hey, Al, why don't you do sales? It's Labor Day, and we got to respect the worker, right? So I said to myself, you know what? That's actually a good idea, right? Because what is the purpose of Labor Day, right? It's to essentially honor the labor and celebrate the achievements of the American worker. Okay. Now, all of the people that we basically went, all these people, I kind of think of them as like all of you guys and kind of all the people that are in the stock market. You guys all went through hell. Okay. So with that stated, this is the biggest sale we've done before. We're going to be doing $150 off of our Mastering Stock Market course, lifetime access, using the coupon code LABOR150 down below. And this is a little bit more information about our market course as it has been featured on Bloomberg, NASDAQ, MarketWatch, and Benzinga. And you can find more information in a link down below. So I wanted to give you guys the good news first because, who doesn't want to hear the good news? So now let's go ahead and talk business, all right? So as you can see here, the S&P 500 clawed back a lot of its losses. In fact, they had, essentially a current rally retraced to 43% of the decline, okay? Now, if we look at this data and we look at these types of movements, right? Michael Burry has been saying a lot of things, but we also have to look at this side of the coin as well, right? We all have different lenses of looking at. And every time we did a 33% retracement, we get a really great outlook that the bear market rally could have been over where we might be ready to bounce again on the upside. So I'm going to give you guys some information, and you guys can determine where the market's going. No one really knows, but you can follow this data, and it'll help you make essentially an educated bet. And if you retrace it back to the fundamentals of the business, which we know that over the long run will ultimately be in your favor, then I think we'd definitely be in a great position. So if you look at the greater than 33% retracement, which are taking these moves and statistically taking these moves and applying them out throughout the market, right? Since 1933 or 1928, honestly, right? A year from now, we have a 92% win rate that the market will be up 14%, which is pretty damn good, okay? Now, another thing I want you to look at is the insider buy and sell ratio. These are corporate insiders. And as you can see here, guys, we've gotten to a point where every time we get to this level here, this is excessive pessimism, right? And this is when the market's just like, we are definitely in a terrible, terrible time. You can see in these directions here, like the 2020 pandemic, right? Or let's say back here in 2012ish, 11, there was a dip. So right now everyone's just very scared of the market. But if you look at the buy and sell ratio, a lot of people are buying, and they tend to buy when we get a just incomplete utter dip. Now you have to ask yourself, well, why are corporate insiders buying a lot, right? Well, they understand their own company more than all of us, right? And every time we see this low, we can kind of tell that, hey, they know this is completely undervalued. And you just get this huge corporate insider buy, just crazy amount of buying, right? And essentially that could signify a bottom. Now, we just got that signal, okay? So what does that signal mean? Well, it's a very strong signal, if I have to say. Literally, look at the 3 months and 1 year. 3 months from now, we could be up another 12% with a win rate of 100%. Same thing with a year, a 30% increase with a win rate of 100%. Again, the median returns will go anywhere between 8 to 17 to 12 to 30, okay? The average. So people that don't know how to do statistics, average and median, the average is the mean and the median is obviously the number in the middle of that. We have there's a positive skew, negative skew. We can go over statistics if you want, but I think it's easy just to look at the data here. And if you guys want more information on how we get these numbers, we can go ahead and do that. But If you look at the small trader put and call ratio, you can see that every time we get crazy amounts of puts, again, we always want to follow the small trader. These are the people that lose money, right? We want to follow them, right? And you want to do opposite of what they're doing. So lots of people are buying puts, right? They were buying so much puts, and that signified, hey, it's probably time to start buying stocks. Now we're starting to see a lot of that drop down, okay? So I like to look at this when it goes over this excessive pessimism. It's a great time to start loading the boat. I mean, you could just load a lot here, but sometimes it's tough because, you know what I mean? Stocks can just continue to keep going, right? But this is great because now we know that we may have possibly hit a bottom, okay? So that's another piece of data that I'm looking at. Likewise, if you look at the fear and greed model, currently within this is coming from CNN, and we take this data, we aggregate it, and average it with different put and call ratios. And what we can see here is we just crossed just complete optimism. This is a time where you want to basically be careful. You want to ask yourself, well, hey, is this rally going to continue? Could this continue? This is a negative mark, right? Everything I've told you right now has been positive, right? Likewise, if you look at the S&P 500 trading above the 50, you can kind of look at this as the simple moving average, right? You can see here that this pinkish line is equivalent to a bear market, right? But you can see the bear market now is over from here. It's yellow, right? It's because of the retracements that we did. Theoretically, based off of the moves that we've seen, the bear market's over. But could this be a bear market rally, right? So what people are saying, and a lot of economists are saying, all the stocks that you purchase down here, it's probably a good time to either lock in some gains, because we may be able to get another opportunity, not maybe at these levels, but maybe around these levels. Likewise, if you look at the put and call ratio here, you can see that it's down here now. It was very high up here, and then now it's down, right? So likewise, if we go on Google Trends, I went ahead and I searched bear market, right? And I wanted to see, have people been typing this in? And what you can see here is we've seen a huge jump right around this location here, and right around this location, May and June. And you can see that around June 12th to June 18th, right, we saw an excessive amount of, just extremely excessive amount of bear market typing. And now we're starting to go down, right? I'm sure now if you just replace bull market, let's see what it spits out. That's now on the rise, right? So you could kind of, maybe do your own technical analysis on that, right? But the reason why I say this is because I find the dates to be quite marvelous, especially during June 12 and June 18. Because if you go ahead and follow our smart money, dumb money, you can see that during June, right around here, June 12 to June 14, you can see that dumb money was selling, right? And based off of this, dumb money was selling around here. So if you did opposite of this graph, you would be making a lot of money, okay? So let's go ahead and let's lengthen the time here. And I don't know why, but Missouri is very, I love Missouri people. They're extremely they're very bearish. You can see it's like Missouri and Hawaii is like really dark, right? In terms of the level of activity. I'm kind of, Hawaii is kind of weird because you guys have the ocean. Missouri, I'd like Missouri. I can't talk a lot about Missouri. If it was like Kansas, I would say, okay, you guys have a reason, right? No, I'm just kidding. But if you look at bear market and stretch out the data, if you can go ahead and all these peaks of every time someone buys bear markets, like everyone like types in bear markets, and if you buy, again, Missouri here is top for some freaking reason. You can go in, you bought in 2008, bought again up here in 2008, bought again here and here and here and here and here. If you put $100,000 in each of these things, ask yourself, if you put $1 million, where would you be? Especially the 2020 pandemic. Imagine putting money here, right? It's very clear, ladies and gentlemen, that you want to do opposite of what retail is doing, okay? whenever retail's selling, whenever retail's here and selling, you want to go ahead and you want to essentially do the opposite, because that's how you're going to secure the deal. Now retail is extremely optimistic. So question is, how long is this bear market rally, whatever you want to call it, is going to go? This is where it gets difficult. This is where you need to get your intrinsic value calculations to do the math. But I wanted to show you this because I really like looking at the psychology of all of this, because I really find this so fascinating. But without further ado, if you guys want access to our resources and everything that we offer, we are through the dedication of the, we're not dumb clucks. We want our $2, right? For the dedication of, it kind of just reminds me of the dumb money, honestly. It's really true. Like things have never changed. You know what I mean? They give us a day off, but I get this from a hedge fund, and I kind of find it honestly offensive that they call it dumb money. I can't change the name. It is what it is, but it's kind of offensive if you ask me. But it kind of makes me, want to, work harder so I'm not dumb money, right? So if that makes sense, right? But we are giving Labor Day $150 off, $150. This will end by September 5th, which is this date right there. This will end. So definitely take advantage of this. And, thank you so much for supporting us. And I hope, this is a beautiful thank you to you guys. And this is lifetime access. Okay. Lifetime means lifetime. All right. God bless each and every one of you guys. And I'll see you on the next one.